What's up, beautiful people? What is going on, y'all? We'll get rolling here in a few moments. Once we get PK in here, I mean, he's the man of the show today. I'm just gonna hang out. If I can get this thing working, that would be fantastic. Life is hard some days. All right, y'all, give us a few minutes. Y'all know how this rolls. Real estate agents like this, come on in a few minutes late. I'm sure you've never heard of that in real estate before in your life. PK, what's up, boss?
Robby T, my man.
You made it, dude. I was worried. I was like, where's PK at?
I'm here.
Just kidding. I was never worried. I knew you wouldn't make it. Dude, how are things in your world today?
Things are amazing. Things are absolutely incredible.
Should we tell people that, we said that we're just going to wing it today? We're just going to let this ride?
Yeah, that'll make it better.
So let's give people another minute or so to hop on in here. Eric likes to start right on time, and I know my audience, and I know that real estate agents always show up a little late. How's my audio, by the way? Is it coming through clear?
You sound great, especially when the microphone's like clanging around.
Oh, you're hearing the little creak, the creak. Good stuff. All right, y'all. So we're going to get started. Go make sure you have your waters, just so you all know, as always, this will be recorded. We'll send you a copy of the recording as well. First off, PK, I just got a name, man. I'm so excited to have you a part of our circle. You've become like another brother of ours, and just excited to have you in this game. Before we, flatter you too much, I should probably explain, who I am, and then I'll intro you, and kind of we'll talk about where we're taking today's call. I'm Robby T. I am a lead conversion nerd, a rainmaker nerd, real estate nerd, investing nerd. And it's funny because I was describing myself as really I've studied three things: investing, the psychology of peak performance, and the psychology of influence. Like those are my three big things. I would say those are like my Olympic rings, I guess you could say. There's other things too, but those are my big ones. I'm based in good old Fargo, North Dakota, and I started in the real estate game as a good old ISA. For those of you that don't know, that is inside sales agent. So I was that annoying a-hole who would call people and text people all day long, in hopes of winning over somebody to work with us in terms of helping them buy or sell real estate. From there, I started coaching and training a lot of top real estate teams in the country. And Eric, of course, who's not here today, is my brother, my business partner, and the more outspoken, better half of me. Well-spoken. There we go. I'm probably more outspoken. He's more well-spoken. And I've always described it as he's the face and I'm the nerd behind things. Anyways, we have brought in PK because of an abundance issue. We've had too many people that needed our help and too little of Eric and myself to go around. And PK, that's why we're bringing you in. We're bringing you in, I think, for two reasons. One, culturally, we are very aligned. Not to say we believe all the same things, but there is undoubtedly synergy in the way we believe in treating other human beings. And for us, I don't care how much money you make. We care about the impact you're making in this world. And we know that financially, you can make all the money in the world and still just be an a-hole. And PK, at your heart, you're one of the truest, kindest givers that I know. Sometimes you're a detriment, my friend. We got to work on that. I get a coach, PK, have now for, a while. I don't remember how long. And one of the common themes is, PK, you need to say no more often. You need to cut things out. But I'm excited about this, yes, because I think it's going to help you grow. So that's the first thing. But secondly, let's just be real. You can be the best person in the world. But the second big thing is, man, you're a successful human being. And not just successful financially. We're going to talk today about how you can net $750,000 in a year. We're going to talk about that. And I want PK to share that. But PK is a former nurse, y'all. Just like all of us, almost always in real estate wasn't your first calling. It was a second one. And I think, dude, that's where I'd want to start today. Is I want people to know you, that little bit of background story of going back to when PK was in scrubs, wiping butts. I don't know if you did that or not, but
A lot of wiping butts.
it's
Tons of wiping butts.
that visual. You're welcome, friends.
Yeah.
This is actually the roast of PK. If you hear me say that, I just call Patrick PK. No, man, but I want to flip it over to you. And I just want you to take it from here. But I think that's a great place to start, is people learning about your beginnings, being a nurse. If you want to go before that, feel free to go ahead. So I'm going to shut the heck up now.
Yeah, man. What an intro. And gosh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to walk out of this room. You've already made me feel so good about myself. If you guys need somebody to help validate you and also tear you down.
I mean, I don't want your head getting stuck when you're trying to get out of that room.
That's the way to validate you and tear you down. You call Robby T, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm super excited to align with you and Eric and coaching people and just helping people, solve problems and create solutions for them in this real estate space. I love doing that. Robby mentioned it. I live the go-giver life. I believe that the more that we give, the more that we can make a positive impact in others' lives, the more that we will have opportunities to do it over and over again and live in abundance, and whatever abundance is for you. Whether that's time, an abundance of time, or an abundance of resources or relationships, whatever abundance is for you, I believe that giving gets you that abundance. And so I want to give back to you guys today. Robby, you asked me about my history. My history goes back to being a giver. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, my parents are great, great people. Always gave to me, and maybe they just instilled it in me. But when I went to high school, I decided that being a nurse was what I wanted to do. And when you are a registered nurse, you're giving to people, right? You're giving them your time, your empathy, your care, your concern. You're giving them suggestions on how to make their lives better. And so I did believe that that was the path for me. And I got into it. And at first, I thought it was great because I actually got a posh nursing job. I worked 4 10-hour shifts. And for me, the other piece was opportunity, though.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't really giving everything that I had. I also I didn't have a lot of opportunities in front of me except for this one path. And so I tried another nursing job, and then that nursing job ruined me. I worked in critical care. And in critical care, I took care of the sickest of sick people, people that were dying, that were on their deathbeds. And for me as a giver, I was trying to help them in every way that I possibly could, but I also was feeling I was failing, right? I mean, sometimes people are just so sick that they can't turn it around. And I also noticed that I took that home, and I took it home to my wife. At that time, I took it home to my dog. I took it home to my extended family. I was just down because I couldn't really help everyone get to a better solution. I know we can't help everybody, but that was one of my things. Another piece of being a nurse is that it's time, right? You got to put a ton of time in becoming incredibly successful in regards to abundance. So if you want to have abundance in your life of time or money or resources or relationships, I thought it was going to take me forever to get there in the nursing path. And so I transitioned very quickly into owning a wellness company where we helped people get healthier. And then after that, I decided to try out real estate. And this was 7-8 years ago now. And real estate, I found, is one of the best, if not the best, businesses and opportunities to give yourself to people, to serve others, and then them accomplish a goal rather quickly that then also gives back to them. It's like this compounding giving, right?
It's really funny, PK, because a lot of us, and I blame our MLSs for this, and our state boards, we're called salespeople, right? And the funny thing is, nobody in real estate is actually a sales person, because you're not selling a product.
Yeah.
We're in the service industry. The only people selling a product are people building homes and selling that home. And it's become this, like, people refer to us as salespeople. And of course, there's so many connotations with that, and people lump us in with all of that. But at the core of what real estate agents too. We are in the service industry. We are providing a service to individuals above all else. And then the second thing I'm hearing, PK, was, dude, you were out of alignment when you were in that critical care. And for some people, that would be like, and I think every human being is different. That's why I believe in saying non-judgmental, because some people go to critical care and they're like, I can't ever leave this. This is my calling. And dude, you were just out of alignment. And I'm so proud of you for, one, recognizing that, because no matter how much good you would have given, you would never have filled your own soul. And I'm a firm believer that you can't provide value to people unless you're first providing value to yourself. And that sounds selfish, but you got to take care of yourself before you take care of others. But yeah, so I just wanted to time that this is a service industry. You found another way to exploit, is that a bad word? Probably. Your giving heart in a way that's a win for you.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, guys, there's nothing, like you said, I mean, the first thing I want to say about this whole webinar, the title of it obviously is to have people sign up, right? I mean, people want to make 750 G's, right? That's what everybody, that sounds sexy.
That's called marketing, y'all. We got to put a nice wrapper on it.
First thing I want to say about it is it is not about that. It's about what you choose to do with it. It's about what you choose to do to earn it, right? It's about the impact that you can make with it. And guys, you have to, whether it's real estate or not, we all have to find our vehicle to give, and we have to find our vehicle to make a huge impact, and everything else will follow. So
well,
for me,
you got into real estate 7 or 8 years ago, PK.
Yeah.
And why don't you tell people about that? What? Because some people have no idea who you are, what you're doing, and I don't want you to be coy about this. I want you to talk about your numbers, be an open book about what you've done. You know, the investments you've made. Just talk about those things.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if my first year in real estate started out much like many, you know, I did 12 deals. I didn't really have a team that was providing me a lot of resources. So I just had to go out there and find it.
Yep.
And I did 12 deals in my first year. And then, you know, let's fast forward to this 8th year. It was over 150 deals. I mean, we put 160 some transactions together with mutual releases. We were down to just over 150 deals. And that equated to a lot of really great relationships. It equated to tons and tons of more past clients that we can love on. And I've also created a team in all of this, right? A micro team of partner agents, ISAs, team agents, and admin, and all this time that really do help make this thing grow. And so we can make more impact on people every single year. And for the last 3 years, we've done over 100 deals a year. And in our marketplace, the average price point is $300K. So you guys, you know, you guys can do the math on that, but 300 times 150 deals is about 45 million. And we almost hit 50 million. And for us, that equated to about $1.25 million in GCI just for our team. And this was not including any brokers that we also had brought on. So I built a brokerage. I brought on brokers outside of my team. I have investment properties. With the time that I've created with a micro team, I've also been able to invest in other passive and somewhat passive businesses, all of which have helped me.
Just so you all know, PK owns or co-owns a restaurant. So I thought it'd be passive, and it turned to be quite active.
I added somewhat passive to that list, right? But you know, having a micro team that is cohesive and strong and a family has allowed me to do this, and I thank them every freaking day for that. They've allowed me to go do more things, and then I've allowed them to do more things. It's this beautiful cohesion of a family that's working towards them. So through all of these vehicles, yeah, you know, Robby and Eric are like, hey, how much are you making in a year? And it's like, oh, wow, I look at the numbers and that's what it is, and that's really great. Now it's more opportunity for me to make a bigger impact and teach you guys how to do it. So yeah.
PK, I want to first applaud. It's funny because when we first goal set for 2022,
yeah,
PK's first goal was 120. And I think my reaction was probably quiet at first, but then I think I laughed at him. And so proud of you guys for breaking 150. 50 million, it sounds like, is a great goal for this year. But more importantly, you did it in a year where most people, almost everyone I know in real estate, saw their production dive and potentially dive massively, or a lot of them are happy to stay where they're at. That's the normal right now. And you grew your production 30-ish, 40%. But I want to hit on something real quick, because you talked about abundance, and we always talk about how wealth is an abundance of time, energy, and financial resources, right? Resources, time and energy. Time is energy, energy is time, however you want to view it. And then resources. And PK, I think up until this point, man, I think you would self-describe it as you were bogged down in your business.
Yeah.
There was a lack of freedom in your business. You were selling a lot of homes. You were doing a lot of things. You were creating financial wealth, but you were trapped. You were in your own jail. And of course, we're going to talk about the micro team. Somebody had asked about that. I promise you, we will define that by the end of this webinar. But you need to understand the story. And really, just so you all know, in terms of making 750K, here would be my goal, PK. We're going to share 3 things that you should not do. At least 3. Feel free to share more. And I think the other thing, PK, that would be great is you sharing 3 things that you must do if you want to put yourself on the trajectory to make a net 750K per year. But let's start with maybe you talking a little bit about this micro team and the impact it's had, not financially on your life, because you've already hit on that. It's creating really stupid financial wealth for you. But what other benefits has this micro team had for you in your life?
Yeah, Robby, you just said it. So guys, to take a quick step back on what Robby said, 2022, very hard year for a lot of people, right? So when we finished 2021, I had done 110 deals, and those were my deals. And that's when Robby was like, hey, what are you gonna do next year? I was like, hey, let's do 120. Well, in 2022, a lot of people dropped, about 30% in their production. By doing this micro team, which I'm getting ready to get into right now, I just did the math. I mean, we had about a 36% increase in our business in a year where a lot of people had a 30% decrease. And so this model, guys, is wonderfully important. And your last question, Robby, like what did it do for me? What did the micro team do for me? Well, it created wealth, but it created the wealth that you just described. It created a wealth of resources. It created a wealth of time, and it created a wealth of money. Okay. And resources, it was people that now are just as smart, sometimes smarter than I am.
Yep.
Okay. So the resources that I have now are people that are just as smart as me in real estate, or if not smarter in some facets, because of the micro team model, because of the way they have to learn, because of the way they have to plug in this model. The second thing was time. So now that these people are this smart, they did allow me to gain more time to go invest in other things, right? And the third was we all made more money. All of us did.
Yeah.
All of us did, because, oh, by the way, they also are more wealthy. They have a resource in me.
Yeah.
This is not just a handing of business to people in a micro team format, guys. It is a working together. It's a cohesion. So they have a resource in me. And then I help save them time, because I can get a deal done because I've been doing it for 8 years and they just started last year. And then also they have an abundance of wealth, more than they'd ever had. Zach, literally, he's one of my partner agents that just graduated to a team agent this year. He came in to me last week and we started talking about money and his goals for money. He's like, man, I've never made anywhere close to this much money.
A rising tide lifts all.
Yeah. So we want to talk about the micro team for a minute. Is that correct?
Let's do this. Let's delay it. All right. Trust me, friends. I've done enough of these. Okay. We will get there. Stick around. You will get the value of what the micro team is. Shameless plug. Check out our book, The Perfect Real Estate Blueprint. It literally tells you exactly what you need to do. Oh, look at that. But PK will talk about it in a moment. Yeah, just stand there. You can be the model. right?
I'll just let you talk for 40 more minutes and I'll hold it.
Yeah, right. There we go. That's a perfect PK. Oh, look at that water, by the way. Good work.
My wife.
Yeah, I like it. It looks great. Let's start here though, because you had not always utilized this team and micro team model. It wasn't really until about a year and a half ago that you really started putting in the pieces to play. So let's start with, what are some things that you should not ever do if you were to talk to someone who is at that place you were? And I think almost everybody here is probably, just to make sure we're all on the same level. We are selling a good amount of homes and we are saying, well, what do I do next? Because cool, I'm selling a good amount of homes, but my life sucks.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of us can relate to. What would be 3 things or more that you would say, do not do this, trust me?
Yeah. First would be just hiring a ton of people. Did it, done it. Robby asked me my history and I went from year 1 to year 8. Guys, in year 4 through 5, I hired a ton of people with the complete idea of, hey, they're just going to sell a bunch of houses. They're going to make a good money. I'm going to make some good money. We're all going to be happy and they're just going to figure it out. Okay. The first thing not to do is just hire a ton of people, i.e., bring on a ton of agents with no plans on leading them, with no plans on being their true leader. Don't hire people that way, guys, because here's what happens. When you hire all those people, you increase a ton of overhead. And what does overhead do? It strips down your profitability. It also increases a ton of time for you.
Yeah. Okay. Overhead, if you're hiring agents, is time and energy overhead.
Yep.
Right? Or else they're going to leave. But it's time or energy commitments that you either have to do yourself, or the overhead is literally you paying somebody else to do it. 100%. Yep.
Also, admin support for them, all of the things. You hire a ton of people, you're going to need help, and it's going to cost you money, and it's going to cost you time. And guys, I am the first person to be an example of this. The money that you make from doing it that way will be temporary. Okay. It will be temporary. It's not a long-term investment. Okay. So the first thing I would say is hiring a ton of team agents, buyer's agents, buyer specialists, listing specialists, or whatever is not the way to do it. All right. I've been there, done it.
Which is dangerous, because most people, once they get to a point that you were, we start saying, man, I want to make more money and work less. So we think what we're going to do is hire people to come in, hire agents, and it's going to solve all your problems. There's so many coaching organizations. Oh, you got problems? Hire more agents, right? KFR, keep effing recruiting is what I've heard many times.
Yep.
And PK, you're saying without any doubt, don't do that if you want to net stupid money in real estate.
Growth creates complexity, guys. Complexity strips all of your energy and time out. Okay. And if you're not in it, it can't be successful. It can, but not without you building a really strong group first that knows how to do it like you. Right.
So let's move to number 2, PK. And just so y'all know, I have no idea what PK is saying here. Like I said, we're winging this. So hopefully we're doing all right. PK, what's the second thing that you'd say never do that?
Don't spend your way out of it.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh, yep.
So buying more leads is not going to make you more profitable. It's not going to make you 750 G's a year. Okay.
That new CRM isn't going to do anything for you. That new flashy thing, that new lead conversion coach will not do it for you. I'm talking from experience, y'all. We ain't God. Almost always people try to do this. They try to spend their way out of this problem. More leads, Zillow leads, whatever it may be. So you're saying that won't work?
Yeah, spending your way out of it, especially in this market, guys, is not really going to do that, right? I mean, you got to think about the reduction in opportunities now. Let's all face it, right? Sales activity has decreased in our markets anywhere from, I've heard somebody in our mastermind, Robby, I heard somebody say that their sales activity went down like 70 or 80%. It's insane.
I would want to know who that is. We'll talk later.
Let's talk in this. It's in the secondary, beautiful, bougie market.
Oh, okay? It's one of those. Yeah.
Yeah. Their business is going to go down in a market like this, right? Most of us lost sales in 30%. right? Like about 30% of our sales went away.
Yep.
Guys, all of these lead generation companies that are out there, they're losing money hand over fist. So they're going to try and start charging more for the same opportunities that more people will share. Okay. I'm not saying don't go out and buy leads. I'm saying don't try to spend your way out of this. Okay?
Yep. 100%.
That's one of the bigger things. The third thing I would say is to stay away from, if you are wanting to make 750 G's in real estate, be the vehicle for you to make 750 G's. Is stepping out of production is not the answer right now.
Whoa. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
But
Stepping out.
PK, that goes against everything anyone's ever been said. It goes against all of it. How the hell do you have so much courage in saying that?
Stepping out of production is a problem now, and it's a problem later. Okay. So a quick snapshot into the partner model, real quick, into the micro team model. And we'll
Please, you feel free to flip it. Yep.
So for those of you that have heard me say this probably 3 times now, I'm going to say it again. Okay. It's a problem now if you step out of production, because if you hand a lead or an opportunity to a buyer's agent traditionally, you're probably going to give them 50% of that commission, right? They probably get 50, they may get 40, heck, they may get 30. I don't know. Right. Sure. So if you got a $10,000 commission, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6K of that commission is going to a buyer's agent, in a typical buyer's agent team format that a lot of people do.
Can I add one piece of that, PK?
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm not stealing your thunder, but there's another blind spot there. It's not just that you're paying somebody else around half. And I think most people would be on a 50-50. The other problem is, are those agents, especially newer agents, going to convert 5 out of 5 opportunities, or are they going to only convert something like 3 out of 5 opportunities? So it's not like you're getting 50% of what you should be getting instead of the 100%. It's actually you're getting 50% of the 60% that they're converting. In other words, that short-term pain hits you on paying out commissions to somebody, 30 to 50%, depending on what your number is, but they're never going to be as good at converting as you. Fair to say?
Absolutely fair.
Okay.
That's why it's a now problem, right? That is a now problem.
Yep.
Whereas if you go to a partner model, like in the micro team that we love to coach on here at Hatch Coaching, is you pay your partner a salary, a modest salary, right? Throughout an entire year, right? And then they may make a 5 or a 10 or maybe even a 15% commission, but maybe 5 or 10% a commission on that $10,000 commission.
Whoa, PK, hold on. We got to slow down, buddy, because people are going to be like, but people won't do this. There's no way agents with experience are going to want to come over and be my partner, my showing partner. There's no way they're going to want to take a salary and only make 5% of commission. What's your answer to that?
It's a question. How many people do y'all watching this? How many do y'all know that are just kick ass, really great people that have never tried a career in real estate because they don't have any money starting out?
Ooh. In other words, the pool that you're drawing from for partners is not somebody with real estate experience. Correct. It is somebody that is a former teacher, nurse, or something along those lines. They're doing something else. Is that fair to say?
Yep. And they've always wanted to try real estate. They always knew they'd be great at real estate. They always knew that they would shine in real estate, but they always hesitated because they had to pay their bills.
They had to pay their bills. There's no healthcare insurance. Eric always describes it like this. I'm going to steal this from him. The only people that get into real estate are people with sugar mamas or sugar daddies, right? Yep. So their spouse makes a ton of money traditionally, which do you think those people are going to come and want to work 50 hours plus a week sometimes and be financially driven? Probs not. Part-time agent written all over it. So the second thing is they come into the game part-time, and we all know how that game works out. Almost always they fail out. Most people do, right? For some people, they actually saved up money to be able to weather 6 to 12 months of almost no income, which is nobody. Or number 4, they're financially irresponsible and they just dive in and put it all on credit cards. And
Yeah.
what you're doing here is you're attracting high talented people. So people ask what your first hire is. And just to skip real quick, the first hire we always recommend is an admin to take details off your plate. I don't care if you hire an in-house admin that's doing that for you. You can maybe expand upon that, PK. Or if you partner with a transaction company or with a marketing company, I don't care, but get that stuff off your plate, those details off your plate, the stuff you shouldn't be doing, because the dollar per hour activity is silly. So once you're selling that 20, 30, 40 homes, you hire that admin, but then you hire somebody that is brand new to real estate as your partner. But PK, aren't they going to suck? They're going to be terrible. They're brand new.
Not with your guidance and help.
Mm.
You're doing everything with them, guys. Their job is to learn from you. Their job is to leverage you, and their job is to lead generate for you and them together. Everything's together. Katie, my newest partner agent, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about something. She said, hey, I'm going through our leads and this one's yours and this one's mine. What do we need to do? And I looked at her and I said, nope, these are all ours.
All ours.
All of these opportunities are ours, guys, and they will not know what they're doing right out the gate, but you better believe they're going to know what they're doing about 10 times faster than a typical agent, right? Because they're going to do everything together. You do everything together with them. They hear you do everything.
Well, and can we just talk about how the model, the agreed upon model that we just talked about of getting into real estate, the normal model of being financially responsible, doing it part-time, it is broken. It's why 9 out of 10 real estate agents burn out within, I think it's 2 years is the NAR stat. Most real estate agents burn out. By the way, people are dropping like flies right now in real estate, per what you said, PK, with production being down almost 20 to 30%, the biggest sales drop we've seen since 2007, 2008. This is, by the way, just so you all know, this market is very similar in total sales drop from 7, 8 to 9, 10. We're going through the same thing. The difference is housing prices aren't crashing, nowhere near. So there's still, more of a balance, but that's a story for a different day. But what you're doing, PK, is you're bringing these people in. They're brand new to real estate and they're just learning from you. What's the first thing that they're doing? Like, what's the first thing that they're learning and you're letting go of off your plate?
For me, it was lead generation, but they didn't get a chance at it until they proved it. Okay.
Okay.
So I would tell you guys, if you're going to hire a partner, they need to be in very close proximity to you. I have 2 offices. I have this one where I do these webinars and I still need to decorate it because, man, it's ugly as hell. And then I have one that's out there with my people.
Yep.
Okay. Your partners need to be, my first partner sat right back here. And they need to be beside you every single day. And so what's the first thing they're doing? They literally listening to you talk to every single client, every single opportunity, every single lead that comes in front of you. They hear you, they hear you, they hear. Okay. And then you start giving them some at-bats, but you only give those at-bats when you're right there behind them. Okay. So the first thing that they did in my world was they helped me lead generate and they helped me show houses. They did those simultaneously. That was the 2 things that I needed the most help with, right?
So instead of them having to learn 45 billion trillion different jobs that us real estate agents all have to wear.
Yeah.
Right. Or those roles we all have to fulfill, whether it's writing your own contracts, worrying about all these different things, acquiring business, servicing the business, title, all these different things that we have to go do. The only 2 things that your new partners coming in and learning is simply how to do showings really, really well and how to lead generate really, really well. That's it.
Yep.
Right? And you described something that we believe in, which is watch me, watch you, go and do, which is simply someone's watching you do it. And there's science that shows that the best way for people to learn is to observe it. Secondly, watch you. You are now watching them do it, PK, and you're giving them feedback and guidance and advice and coaching. And then finally they get moved to number 3, which is, okay, you can do this now. I trust you to go and do it. Most people I know in this game, they hire people quickly. They hire agents they think is going to solve all their problems. They think they're going to produce. They hire coaches to go do everything, all this stuff for them. They spend all this money and they hope it's going to work out. And we always describe hope's a great thing to have, but it's a stupid business strategy. Eric says terrible. I'm going to call it. It is stupid. It's a stupid thing. And what happens, we hire these people and we're like, all right, just pick it up and be good. And then we inspect what we expect 6 months later, or they fail out. We're like, what happened? And we blame them. This is what drives me nuts, y'all. That's why PK is aligned with this, is we would never hire somebody and be inclined to blame them for their failures. It is our fault because, one, we either failed to properly train you, coach, or advise you, or we made the wrong hire. It is never their fault. And that's leadership. That's ownership. PK, you're spot on this. Where else do you want to take this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go all in on partners the whole time, okay, guys, because there's a lot that goes into this, but I want to go back to the long-term effects of this. The last thing I want to say about, what you asked me was the first thing that a partner does. Yep. Guys, I'm looking at this list of our attendees right now. There's a lot of people in here. There's 2 things that are the most important thing in your business. It's leads and time. Okay. And so I just told you the 2 things a partner should be doing. They should be lead generating for you. If we have leads, we have nothing.
Yes. Or
if we don't have leads, we have nothing. Right. So they have to learn how to lead generate, and they have to learn how to do that quickly, especially in this market. Okay. And then you need to be doing that more, and you do that with time. And that is them showing home. So guys, if you had a partner and they just did those 2 things and they did those things really, really well, partner's immensely valuable. They will pay them for themselves times 10. Okay. And they will also create financial opportunities for themselves that they never had. So you hire a partner, right? And you take them on and you do everything together, and everything is ours. Okay. That was one of the first things that we did in the real estate sales piece of growing a business that netted what we netted. After that, for me, it was hiring another partner because we were doing so many deals, right? My partner needed time to lead generate and leverage me. They couldn't just do all of it. Okay. Those partners can have a career path, which I'm happy to share with you all if you reached out to me or Robby. They have to have a career path in which they grow. They have to have an end game. They have to know that there's something that they can grow into. These partners can graduate into team agents, which now we have 2 team agents inside my micro team. We have 2 partners inside of my micro team. We have 2 admin, and we have an ISA. And ISA is one of the newest additions. And that's how our micro team looks. But the ISA has not been with us very long. And you guys hear that I don't have this team of 25 agents that sells 150 homes, right?
Yep.
We have 1 agent, that's me, that's done this for 7 to 8 years. We have 1 agent that's done it for about 6 years. That's a team agent that just joined the team. By the way, her numbers are not included in our numbers. Okay, because she just joined the team.
Yeah.
And then we have agents that have done this for less than 18 months.
Right? It's crazy because the total heads that you just mentioned is, per my math, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, including you.
We have 7. Yep.
7 people. And, we had said net over 750. PK, what is that number? Like what income will you make in 2022?
Counting all real estate investments and sales, or just sales?
Everything, because your other things come from your time and energy and other things coming in.
Yeah, in 2022, we were north of 750 in net income.
There you go. Yeah. Life is good.
Real estate, and real estate is the vehicle for that, guys. Real estate can be the vehicle for all of you. A micro team can be the vehicle for all of us to create that kind of money and wealth in our lives. It helps us invest in other things and have confidence that we can.
100%. So I was going to ask you the 3 things that people must do, but I'm hearing micro team, micro team, micro team.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd want to make sure to add to that?
I mean, I wrote down seven things that are do's and don'ts.
Yeah.
And the micro team is one of them. The micro team allows you to invest in everything else. Okay.
Okay.
The micro team allows you to be the most profitable. I also missed the long-term ramifications.
Oh, yeah, everybody, y'all need to pay attention to this.
Yeah.
This is money. And I'm going to add a piece to this as well. But
I missed this because we got going and we could talk about
I distracted you. It was my fault.
So guys, the long-term ramifications of not building a micro team are you doing it the classic way and handing it to a buyer's agent, right? You doing what everybody else is taught.
Mhm.
That buyer's agent is going to miss all these piggies or opportunities, right? They're going to fail on this, which hurts you now and the future, because our business is really heavy past client sphere of influence. It should be, right? And then also these that do close in 5 to 7 years because you handed them off and you said, sayonara, I'm too busy for you. These 3 call that buyer's agent again in 5 to 7 years. Who, guys, is it likely that they're with you? I don't know. We don't know.
I'll give the answer. No.
Yeah, I mean, especially in this environment, right? Because those folks that are having a hard time, they're looking for greener pastures. They're looking for greener grass. And
Yep.
so they're going to go potentially somewhere else. And so guys, if you do it in a partner model where you are knocking them all down, 5 to 7 years from now, your partner is very, very, very likely to be here for you because you and them together still work together. Okay. And you created this immense opportunity for them and they created this immense opportunity for you. And it's family. In 5 to 7 years, all 5 of these people come back.
Mm.
And I've heard Eric describe it because he's been doing it longer than we have, where he's missed out on millions of dollars in commissions because he didn't do this model sooner.
I call it this $2.5 million mistake in growing. And PK, that's why I'm so happy to have you a part of our circle. Is we've been first off, we have taught this to other people that are doing it and doing this well. It's not just PK.
Yeah.
Mike Novak, and people are doing different renditions, but it's very similar. Mike Novak, Jordan Terrell is doing it, and many others. Mark Cool is crushing it, and it's giving them freedom. And we haven't even mentioned, like, bro, this is an insurance policy, right?
Yeah.
If something happened to you today that you couldn't work for a month, your business would be fine.
Yeah.
It would actually probably operate better than you think it would.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're by yourself, you're screwed. You have no insurance policy at all, except hopefully the help of other agents, but that loyalty doesn't last. But it's a $2.5 million mistake because, as you said, they don't come back to you. And what I love is we've always been saying that, but PK, you've avoided it. And you, in the last 2 years, have sold homes to 260 different people, clients, give or take. And these people view Patrick Keller as their real estate agent. Even if you suck at past client follow-up, this thing is going to keep compounding and compounding and compounding. And your problem becomes, how do I keep scaling leverage? How do I keep bringing other partners in to provide the service? And y'all, we don't know where that lid will be. Okay. There are people, PK is doing it. I think there's very few people selling as many homes as you are. Very few. But I think we can keep growing this thing. And there's no doubt there's problems, there's headaches, there's stuff that you all aren't seeing. But that headache is nothing compared to, oh my goodness, 40% of my business is gone forever.
Yeah.
Right. And 60% is going to be gone in 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
It is painful. Any other must-do things that people have to do before I got another couple things I want to hit on?
Absolutely. So it is very important in growing your micro team that you carefully select which and what opportunities, where do they go and who gets them. Okay. Everybody has to earn opportunities. So if you guys have built out a team and it doesn't look like this, that's okay. That's okay. It doesn't mean that you have to blow up absolutely everything, but you do have to start adopting the mantra that everything's earned and nothing is given. That was the biggest mistake that I made. So to turn this do into a don't, it is do not give opportunities to people in your team or on your world that they haven't earned.
That's called hope.
That is called hope. What do we typically do? We're looking for more sales. So we do what I said don't do, which was go invest in a lot more leads. But we know that we don't really want them because we don't want to deal with that anymore, right? And then we give those expensive leads or opportunities to people that we've never seen do them because we think that also hiring a bunch of people will solve the problem. Okay, so the do is every opportunity that's in front of you. If it's just you right now, you have to treat it like gold. You have to treat every opportunity like it's the opportunity. When you start to build out your micro team, or you have a team right now, you have to make sure that those opportunities go to the people that have earned it. Okay. So if you have a team right now and it's not like the teams that we're describing and you're round robining leads, guys, you really need to evaluate that. You need to make sure that the opportunities are going to the people that are actually closing them. And you need to stick with that. You need to stay with that, and you need to make sure that those people get those at bats. So right now, that's my second. Like, you need to make sure that the opportunities that you have are going to the people that are going to close them. You also need to evaluate that it may also need to be you. In Gary Keller's book, The Shift, there's a whole chapter about how when our market shifts, we may have to start doing the things that we stopped doing. And why? It's because we're the best at it. So we have to.
And really what we're doing here, I firmly believe people are caught off guard by shifts. PK, you weren't. You act like a shift is always coming because you're putting yourself at the center of the production of this business, not doing everything yourself, but producing the business, creating the business. I have more faith in your market for you to do that than any other human being on the face of the earth. 100%. And if things were to dip, oh, well, I just got to focus on what I do best, which is lead generation. But one more thing, PK, a lot of this we've talked about how it benefits you.
Yep.
Right? What we have to hit on, and we've really brushed over it, is I actually think the person that benefits the most are your partners.
Yep.
Because instead of coming in and doing the sink or swim, getting really crappy mentorship, failing out of this business, having to start over, your people get to sit and observe one of the best real estate agents in the country, and they get paid to do it. On top of that, you're creating a runway for them, and you're graduating them when they're ready. One of the worst sins in business, hands down, is us graduating people into incompetence. And that's a problem when we graduate people when they haven't earned it, is we graduate someone and they're not ready for it. You're graduating people when they are ready for it. And when they're ready for it, this crazy thing happens. They win. They're successful. And what's cool about this is in the long term and the short term, the person that benefits, I think, the most from the micro team model is not even you, PK. It is them. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. And you need to be there for them when it's their time to help them grow the same model you did.
Now, I gotta add one more thing, PK, because I'm outing you here, but you have made the decision to come join the fun over at Real, which is a super cool announcement. This is not at all a pitch for you to come to Real. I will say this is absolutely, I think, a pitch to be a part of a brokerage that allows you to follow the EXP or the Real type model that allows you to benefit. Because here's what's really sweet. Hatch Realty, I'm just going to tell a quick story. We have seen some fabulous people who have been a part of our world for 6-7 years, who have built really great businesses. You know, Tyler Lindell, who is selling at peak PK type numbers, he has decided to leave Hatch Realty. And y'all, before we were a part of Real, what would happen is those people would always go and join other brokerages. Well, here's what's really cool is Tyler Lindell is at Real. And when he left, we've always said we were going to cheer for you and love you and care on you. But the reality is distance gets created because we're not at the same brokerage. Tyler left and he's at Real. And y'all, I can't be happier for him. I can't be cheering more for him. I will offer anything I can because guess what? He's a part of our network, our system. And that's what's so cool about this is we are in the manufacturing business. We are manufacturing fabulous real estate agents. And by, doing this, you get a benefit in the short term for sure. But even if your partners leave, they're a part of your network. There's a financial benefit, invested interest, and you get to cheer for them. And we all know there's a ton of business in our local markets. Like, there really is no competition. There's enough to go around. The biggest thing that would happen, though, take it from a guy that's seen people leave, is people would leave and go to a different brokerage, and it would break my heart. And what we've seen now is all the people that left, I think every single one or almost every single one stayed at Real. But PK, you have made this decision to close up your own personal brokerage and move over to Real. Why don't you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, guys. I mean, from a very nuts and bolts perspective, a lot of people would look at my decision and be like, what the heck was he thinking? He got to keep 100% of everything, and then he's going to go to a place where he can't.
Yep.
Right. On the surface, that's what I struggled with initially, like 8 months ago. Right. Yep. But guys, we have to think about this in such a bigger way. And for me, from a widgets perspective and a nuts and bolts perspective, owning a brokerage, I can't offer the things that something like Real has, right? I'm not a publicly traded company that has stock options. I don't have that. Yep. I don't have the support or the people to create a revenue share program that can be maintained and not too complex as we grew, right?
Even if you loved all those ideas, there was no way you could ever do it.
Yeah, right. So I also didn't have, again, going back to stock, I didn't have an opportunity to say, hey, if you invested in my company over this period of time, I could see this projected growth, or I could see it not. I mean, I couldn't say that, right? I didn't have any of those resources. But the bigger reason for me was being able to now collaborate with some of the greatest minds in real estate. This is the biggest thing. Okay. And the thing that I noticed about Real was it wasn't a closed book. It wasn't a, hey, join me and I'll give it to you. It was, hey, we're going to give. And you guys will go right back to the first 3 minutes of this thing. I love to give. It's just something innate in me. I don't know what it is, but I love to give things to people. I'm a gift giver. Okay. And I looked at the people at Real, Robby and Eric, Mike and Rachel, and all the people that I know at Real. Guess what they are, guys? They're givers. Yeah. Okay. It is a group of loving, giving people that want to see everybody succeed, and in the likes of which I've never seen in a brokerage before. Guys, I've owned my own brokerage up until this point for the last several years. I was approached by so many different franchises to even sell. Yeah. They're going to give me big fat checks, guys, right? And I never, ever once considered it. And then I saw the culture at Real, and culture is such a buzzword, but guys, I mean, I don't know. I saw the vibe. I saw the people.
Let's say culture and find another buzzword.
Yeah. I saw the people there and I thought.
Next thing PK's gonna be like, Real, it's bussin'. Like, oh my goodness.
I don't even know if I'm older. I'm a little bit older than you. And now I feel a lot older than you.
Yeah, that's funny.
I saw these people and I knew that they had a compassion for others, and they had a desire to see others grow, and they do it in the right ways. And so, guys, that was the biggest reason why I went to Real. And also it's a vehicle for me to offer so many things for people that join up. And so I'm very excited about this opportunity, incredibly excited about the opportunity. And I know that we're going to be able to help a lot of people grow their business too.
Yeah, well, I'm honored, and whether you would have gone to another brokerage, you know me, I would have been a cheerleader for you no matter what. But I'm glad you're a part of our sandbox. Most importantly, man, I think you brought some really great value to people today. If you have questions, y'all, about any of this, reach out to PK or I. You can email us. I'm Robby T at hatchcoaching.com. PK, do you want to drop your email quick?
Yeah, I think the easiest way, if you guys want to explore the partner model or the micro team model more, if you want to have deeper conversations about how to grow and be more profitable, if you want to talk about anything we talked about, you can just go to meetpk.co. So it's meetpk.co, and that'd be a lot faster.
You fancy son of a bitch. Goodness sakes. I'm really, really honored to have you a part of our circle. And so excited to see the value you continue to bring and how you grow and mature and help people in this game. So honored and blessed. As always, we will never pitch you on any of our choices, but check out our book. If you want a free copy of it, just let PK or I know, and we'll make sure to get you the link so you can get a free copy of the book. Read it. We spent last year building it, writing it, and I think it's something that you guys need to check out. We keep calling it rescue. We're trying to rescue as many people as we can from the don'ts that PK talked about, because they're so common. And there's far too many people I know that have gone down these paths and done these things. And next thing you know, they find themselves bankrupt, both in terms of time, energy, and financially. And I think there's a better way. Again, check out the book. If you need help, you want to have conversations about it, PK, and I will never, ever not answer your questions. I think if there's one thing I guarantee you, whether it's Eric, myself, or PK, you ask us questions, whether you are coaching with us or not, we are here to provide value. It's who we are, and that's just what we do. So PK, honored, man. Thanks for bringing a lot of heat and stuff. What you did today is going to help people make more guap. I've been doing these Gen Z terms. I'm just trying to throw some in there for y'all. So PK, what's your last words?
What good is all of this money if you can't enhance the lives of others with it? All right. So go make all this money and then go make impact in your guys' communities and the people that work with you or beside you, and would love to see y'all succeed.
Love it. PK, good stuff. Most all of y'all, love ya. Peace, PK. We'll talk soon, buddy. See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.